Sing like a Reebok.
Hey, Talofa, everybody. How you doing, Utah? Welcome in. It's a special edition of Budah's Lounge. We're coming to you from our page here, our Facebook page, my Facebook page, hanging out with one of our good friends. If you missed the show this morning on Everyday People, oh my gosh, man. It was a really good show. Nice job.
Thank you. It was
man,
great.
Y'all had me laughing with Javi. That was a really good show. Very informative.
Very informative, but Javi's just one of those people who has his hands in everything, so it was really, really easy to talk to him.
Yeah, and you know what's funny too is that, sorry, I'm sharing this too, is that Auntie Vita does watch from Samoa.
Oh, really?
So you do have an audience in Samoa, especially if her son was on. Yeah, if Javi is on, yeah, you know Auntie Vita's watching. So.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, shout out to Auntie V.
Yeah, Auntie Vita.
Auntie Vita.
Yeah, oh, you know her? Yeah, she's good people. I asked Lynn to hang out after his show so we could talk a little bit. I've been telling my story about medical cannabis for quite some time, and the way it all started. And I want to speak for you, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but the program having access to something that we never had before. One,
right. And
then two, also hearing positive things about this plant. Before it was demonized, don't do it, it's the devil's lettuce, the devil three-way, whatever you call it, right? Maui Wowie, and it was made to scare us, not to. But there were smart people back then. Weren't there doctors? Weren't there scientists?
I mean, it was out there, and it's just crazy that we're here now, finally legalizing it, and it's changed the game.
Yeah. So my story is, I tell the story all the time, and for those of you who haven't heard it before, is I was an active member of the local church, a popular church, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm a heavy kava drinker. I drink kava, and that's how I medicate, if you will, to relieve my stresses. Problem with that is it takes hours and hours. You got to drink gallons and gallons of it before you can feel any effects that are soothing for me, and my taste. Does that make sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So I spent 12 hours trying to get the same medication.
Yeah, right. That I can get in like 2
minutes.
Something. Yeah, 2 minutes. So like I said, I'm an active member of my church. One day, there's a new policy change, and I'm reading about it, and it says members are allowed to have a medical card as long as it's procured, obtained in a legal manner. It's recognized by the state. You'll still be in good standing. That's the thing that got me, because I was worried about my mom.
I did not know that. Yeah.
I was worried about my mom. I didn't care about what anybody thought about me except for my mom.
Right.
So I figured, you know what? If my church gonna let me do this at the time, my church at the time, they're gonna allow me to do this. I just wanted to make my mom happy. She's older in age. I don't know when she's gonna go, but I would at least love for my mom to feel like my son must not be there and son. Not that my mom sounds like that, but but I wanted her to be proud of me, right? So here I am, I go to my mom and I tell my mom, Mom, you'll never guess what I did. What you do? I don't drink kava anymore. Oh, thank Jesus, thank you so much. She didn't say Jesus, but
you're like, wait a minute.
And then, yes, she doesn't know that the other shoe's about to drop. I say, but mom, I'm also following the church guidelines, and now I have a medical card. My mom's like, hey, son, no, please go back to the kava.
Right, drink all of it.
Go drink as much kava as you please. No, don't do a truck. I'm like, Mom, please. So, to me, in that instant, I realized that there's still a stigma.
Yes.
And two, and I don't put my mom in shade, because she like so many of her generation are components of their faith. When they're faithful about something, they will die for their beliefs, and they don't care, right? So I can't really poo-poo on my mom for standing her ground. But that was my story, and I've come to use it responsibly and legally, and that's really all I'm trying to do, Lynn, is talk about how there is a way to get relief if all the other stuff that you're getting from the pharmacy is not working. I mean, we do it every day when we ask for fotas, we ask for lolo, we ask for this, we ask for that. Why is this any different? And this is the one question, and I'll stop here and ask you to and bring you into the conversation. I said to my mom, when you take Tylenol, do you ever ask what's in it? Or do you just think because it's a medicine, it's already approved, I'm just going to take it? This is the same thing. If there are smart people, if there are scientists behind it, doctors who are also saying that this can be a medicine, same guys that are saying Tylenol is okay.
Yeah.
She said, well, maybe I have to think about that. So this brings me to, this is the junction where I'd love to bring you in. I don't know about any of your past history with the plant medicine, with cannabis, but having a program like the medical card, where the shame is being minimized, where the stigma of having any association is being minimized and being normalized. Can you tell me about your canna story? Where do you fall with canna? Are you at least trying to educate yourself and learn about this plant medicine?
I think I'm fairly new to it. I mean, I smoked weed when I was in high school.
Who didn't, right?
I mean, because we all did.
Yeah,
so
fast times at Ridgemont High.
I mean, it was a thing.
Spicoli, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah. No, yeah.
No, so I'm fairly new to it. So I smoked in high school, but it was different back then. So you did it, you didn't really understand about it, so it made me really sick. So
rebellious too.
Rebellious. Yeah. So then fast forward, I was living in Seattle, 2016. My brother had passed away in a motorcycle accident.
I didn't even know that. I'm so sorry.
So he died here in a motorcycle accident. So of course it gave me really, really bad anxiety. When you lose a sibling, like you don't experience nothing like that, right? So then after that, this is when they were starting to legalize marijuana in Seattle, one of the first
One of the first states, yeah.
Right. So I'm like, okay, and my roommate, best friend, he always smoked it. He's like, you should probably just try this. Because we had the dispensaries there. So I tried it, and I'm like, holy crap, it totally changed my life.
But you're an adult. You're a business owner. You're a responsible, tax-paying adult and citizen. You want to stay within the legal parameters of the law, right? So what do? You come back to Utah. Did we have a program at the time?
We did not have a program at the time. I moved back here 2019.
Okay.
I think maybe they were just still talking about it was in the works to try to put it on the
Proposition
ballot.
2.
Yes.
I think it was, and I apologize if that's not the right proposition, but I remember Alex Yorgi out of Wholesome Co. He's now Wholesome Co. He was the politician that was trying to champion that so that kids could get medicine because nothing else worked for them. I think the name of it was like Charlotte's Web.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Charlotte, and it was an oil. The little baby girl's name was Charlotte, but her parents were famously or infamously took her to Colorado where they could get it.
Right.
And then all the time, their families here in Utah, and everybody's like, hey, that's so wrong. You can't do that. But they knew that was the only way their daughter could have relief from the seizures and all that.
Right.
So like I said in the beginning, for me, no matter what Fiapoco, what scientists with all the degrees come and says, silly, you shouldn't do that because of A, B, and C. I've already done my own experiment with whatever ails me. Now, it may not work for everybody out there, and I'm not even talking about the medicine itself. I'm talking about the program. And the reason why I love the program, and I'm being totally honest, is that like my mom, who doesn't hesitate to reach for any bottle of Tylenol on the shelf, never questions its safety, never questions. Do you remember those stories where we heard that some of these big pharmacy bottles had been tampered with or whatever? And
Oh, I
they
just watched that
do you remember
documentary, that
story?
Tylenol one. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's a crazy
Wow.
story, right?
Yes.
And remember, before that, nobody gave a darn, nobody gave a second guess. I have a headache, Tylenol. I have a headache, aspirin, right? And that was the idea I was trying to share with anybody that would listen. Why is it that we go right to a cough medicine on the shelf? We don't even look what's inside. As long as it says cough medicine, we think that's going to fix it. We look inside. How many times have you watched those late night commercials where the side effects are worse than what you have? I mean, oily discharge.
Right.
What the hell is an oily discharge? Or death.
Right.
Okay, sorry, or death. But they name all of these things. And those were the things that I was trying to get at with my mom and anybody who would listen, that there's all these things that come with taking this thing, but this thing is going to fix only A. But mom, you're going to get C, D, E, F, G, H, I, all those other things. It's slowly starting to happen. I think my mom is slowly starting to accept the fact that I'm using a state legal program. That's the thing she's really trying to wrap her mind around, because she's worried about all the legalities, especially with the climate that the world is in right now. What if they take you by accident, son? You could be, you know what I mean? So she's not even thinking about like the spiritual side. She's not even thinking about like legal, just the part of that, son, right now. That could be something where somebody could detain you. Just, do you have a medical card? We don't know if you have a medical card. I don't know. Do you have one? Well, now we have to research you. Handcuff. Right.
So she's so worried about the what ifs.
Yeah.
I wonder like if it's a thing, because like when I started doing it again in Seattle where it was legal, it was normal, but everybody was doing it. And if they weren't doing it, it was just accepted.
Kind of like the concerts. Like, when you go to some of the concerts, and I'm not saying that we've ever done this, but I've been to concerts where it looks like somebody left the fog machine on.
I mean.
Right? And there are law enforcement around. And I asked one of them one time, I said, hey, there's a lot of people here indulging in this illegal, at the time, illegal activity. And he said, well, what do you want me to do, arrest 20,000 people? I said, yeah, I'd have a mob on my hands. I said, this is a concert that accepts this. It's a reggae concert, right? So
I think the expectation was already there. So like, how do we pick our battles?
Yeah, because you wouldn't do that at a Mormon Tabernacle concert, I'm
just kidding. Just kidding.
Well, maybe if you want it to sound better, or makes it okay. Anyway, so.
No, but I wonder if it's a thing how you're talking about with your mom and stuff, and she was worried about the legalities of all that stuff. I wonder if, because when I came back to Utah, then I started like questioning it a little bit, because I was coming home to the church and like family members who were part of the church.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're worried about it being illegal or legal, or it's because it's like
the moral.
It's the moral.
The moral dilemma. Yeah.
Right.
I know that there's there's way more worse vices than that. Anyway.
If you got that zoom in right.
But I, when I discovered this program, Get MedCard, with our good friends Jason Stark and Dan Martin, it really, to me, when I was talking to them, I thought they were going to tell me all it's because you get to do this, or you get to have access to this, and you're going to feel this way, and it wasn't. They really came from a place of responsibility and adult. I mean, obviously, I think that little kid in me, right, would have reacted to what the world would expect.
Right.
But hearing other adults say, no, I had bad knees, and this thing was the only thing that gave me relief. Click. Oh, shoot, I have bad knees. What other stuff like my knee could I look at? And it doesn't help with everything. I'll tell you, this medicine, my knee doesn't hurt for sure.
Right.
I get relief from that. But I could still feel like my ankle. I sprained my ankle so many times playing volleyball, and so every so often I could feel the pain just shoot through like this. Bro, that's why I have a cankle. I want to see this? I have a cankle.
Not the cankle.
Right here. This thing has been sprained so many times. That's why, and it happens. I've sprained that ankle so many times that if I step on a rock just the wrong way, it'll go out. And the pain just shoots right through. And again, I've tried those ointments. I've tried those topicals. The ones that have, the THC in it, well, not the THC, the cannabinoids, the roll-on, that seemed to really help my pain better. I've tried Icy Hot, and I've had relief from that. This just works better for my body. Is it for everybody? No. And here's the beautiful thing. I don't know if you know about this, Lynn, is that if you go through the whole process, you get qualified. It's $70 right now at getmedcard.co. I've seen other places that it's $50. So the prices are getting cheaper and cheaper.
Right.
Even the state used to take $3 from every transaction. Now it's $1.50. So what does that mean?
Right.
That means the state is seeing. They're seeing something. We're now going to make money on volume, right? So if they cut it down by half, that means they see a potential of maybe 100% growth or maybe a 200% growth. And by the way, it's 5 years of the program. Utah's been making tons of money on almost 100,000 patients. So there's money to be made, but Utah wants to do it responsibly and legally. So, and here's
there's money to be made, and there are people who need it.
Yes. Now, do you have a dispensary, a pharmacy? Do you have a pharmacy of choice, preference?
Well, I've been going to Dragonfly, only because it's just down the street from my home.
Right. I'm not calling you old, okay? I'm not calling you old, but when we're there, don't we see people older than us?
Yes.
A lot of them getting their medicine. See, and that, to me, again, that shows there's been so many people suffering.
And they're all from different walks of life.
Yes.
You know, so you walk in there like, oh my God, I would not picture someone like this person.
Oh, he's a lawyer. I know that guy.
Right. I'm like, oh, there goes my bishop. I'm just kidding.
Wait?
Just kidding. No, but there's
He's a second counselor. He's not a bishop. He's a second counselor.
No, I'm just kidding about that part. No, but you're right. You walk in, there's so many different walks of life. Older people, people with disabilities, but it's crazy, but it's such a great program to have. I mean, I'm just barely a brand new medical card holder.
Yeah.
You know, and it's totally changed.
Can I ask you this then about the medical part? How did you feel when you learned that this medical card program in Utah is HIPAA protected, that you don't have to answer any questions because it is protected by the government?
I think it's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make it easier to get the card, but it's just, you know that you have easier access if you do have those injuries. And I have sports injuries. You know, I'm like knee problems, so I have my medical marijuana card before my knee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and it's just crazy how I learned a whole lot, because you sit down with one of the doctors before they even give it to you. So you learn different strains. They talk to you about like what mental issues are you having.
Actually, that was a mind blower too.
Yeah.
Actually hearing somebody tell me, and here I am thinking, nah, bro, I got this. I've been there before. No, there's so much information and an experience.
Yes, it is an experience.
Yeah. Now, look, we're talking about the card program, the access to medicine that we've never had before. If you want to have this plant medicine, use it without the euphoria. I didn't even know this, Lynn. I didn't know there are medical cannabis products that you don't feel that high, that euphoria. You can just get the relief, your knee pain goes away, and then you're just sober, I guess. You don't have any of those euphoric feelings. So I like the euphoric feeling. I'm going to be honest with you. I just have to learn how to be responsible. So don't drive with it. Don't work heavy machinery. You know, those kinds of things.
Well, like you're saying, you have to do it right. Like alcohol, you want to be responsible, but then you're doing research on it. I mean, there were a couple strains that I tried where it totally did the total opposite, where it gave me like really bad anxiety. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then it's just like, you have to be smart about it. You have to kind of read what you're getting. Yeah. You know, it's kind of like just reading, making sure you're putting healthy stuff in your body. You know, but like you're saying, it's not for everybody, but there is a plan that they have for you. So it's not like you're going into a candy store and taking everything off the shelf. Right.
And you're really, even though you're trying it on your own, the pharmacists at all of these pharmacies are giving you good information. For example, I didn't even know the gummies. If they come in edible form, they always tell you to take half the dosage of whatever is recommended, just because everybody's body consumes or digests the plant differently. So, and the effects will be different. You gotta wait 30 minutes. If you're anxious, you'll take too much. Right. Yeah, and the only thing that'll happen is that you'll fall asleep. So you'll wake up the next morning.
But it's just like kava. You know, it hits people differently as well. You know what I mean? You won't see it till hours later, but you have something that can totally just get the job done.
Do you try to talk to people when, and I'm not asking you to promote or whatever, I'm just trying to share a little bit of me. When I see somebody who's suffering with pain, I tell them, hey, look, man, I used to have that too. You should try the medical card.
Oh, I do all the time.
Yeah.
I do only because a lot of people knew that I never used to really smoke it, except in high school. Then decades later, I stopped, and then I worked for the airline, so it was hardcore. I cannot use any type of drug. But So people do, and so I always tell people, especially because they know that I have a lot of sports injuries, like, well, how do you take care of it? Because I need a full knee replacement, but getting this card is totally like help me be calm and not really have to worry about
But that's
surgery.
not to say that people are not going through things, because everybody has a different coping mechanism. We've heard before many stories. A lot of us have family members or friends, alcohol, and then even prescription drug and opioid abuse, right? Those things are still around. Now, that's not to say that anything can be used and abused, right? It's there's no way that, oh, try this, but you'll never abuse. No, you can abuse anything if you want to.
Right.
What I'm saying is that we've been abusing hard pharmaceuticals for so long. I would want to take them away, but what the medical card program is saying, there is a place for opioids, but it is harmful to your body. So let's cut it down. I've never heard any of these pharmacists or care professionals say, cut all of that out because it's no good. They said, no, there's a place. If it gives you relief, let's figure out how to work with the medical card, so that way you can get some real relief. If it only gives you this much, well, let's cut some of that out.
And you're still following the same proper steps that when you're at a doctor, when they have to give you a prescription for your like lower tabs. You know what I mean? So you're still getting prescription. You need to but marijuana, it's just the medical card. It's just something you have to research. You know what I mean? You can't just go in to do it, especially when you're talking about mental health a little bit. So that's how I figured out that one of the strange totally did the opposite, is because of like mental health issues and stuff like depression or anxiety. So one of the strains that totally triggered me to have the worst anxiety where I thought I was about to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I was able to go talk to the doctor.
See,
there
that's
and
a
tell
great
him this
example.
Right. Well, this is what it's doing to me. Like, hey, well, let's try this.
See, and just like a regular doctor,
Yes.
with any other medicine, if you take it and you have an adverse effect, what do? You go back to your doctor and say, hey, man, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. There's nothing different.
It's exactly. So that's why I brought up the whole prescription or pain pills, because you still go talk to your doctor. And it's been the best thing it's just been really, really good for me.
Now, if you're unlike Lynn and myself, where you're not as enthusiastic about the card program, well, September 27th, there is an event where you can now schedule to come and learn. If you're not learning anything right now, if you're not doing your own research, the Canafan Festival that's happening at Granary Live, September 27th, there'll be healthcare professionals there. There'll be all the pharmacy. If the pharmacy is not there, I would wonder why, because it's geared towards the medical card program. I would say, Lynn, that's probably the best place to get your information, because everybody's going to be there. But also, we should not forget that it's a celebration of having access to something that was here way before all of us.
Yes.
It's a plant.
Yes.
I'm going to quote a famous movie. God put it on earth for you and me.
To eat it.
Yeah, a lettuce sometimes. But
I mean, it's like you said, the Canafan Fan Fest is going to be amazing. Like you said, all the professionals are going to be there. Let them do the research for you.
yes.
You
I
know,
mean,
just
y'all
let
do it
them
for
know-
AI.
Right?
Shoot.
I mean...
You guys let iGuy come in all the time.
But it's easier access these days. You have professionals that are there to help you. You don't need to do it on your own or feel sneaky about you're buying it from somebody on the corner of the street.
Yes, and I would not trust those street pharmacists, because nothing against them as a character or as a person, but because you never know. I mean, I keep hearing fentanyl,
Yes.
fentanyl. And so if you look at your friend who is your plug, can they tell you 100% that there are things in there that are not supposed to, there are things that are not supposed to be in there are not in there? Can they 100% tell you?
No.
We're taking a risk, right?
Yes,
But with
risk.
the medical card program, because it's run by state officials, state government officials we've elected, there are watchdogs. They test everything. They
Right.
make sure that if it says it is whatever is this, it's actually in there. Whatever it's supposed to help with, it's actually in there. So to me, it gives me ease of mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the professionals that are there, that they're more transparent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're more transparent about this now because it's so looked at.
Yeah.
You know, like we were talking about earlier, like we watched the Tylenol documentary and it killed so many people, but people were still taking it, risking
Because they trusted.
knowing that they might die.
Right, exactly. We're going to take a break here and play one of the artists that is on the lineup for Canna Fan
Yes.
Fest. There's a lot of local ones, but we don't want to steal their thunder. We'll introduce them and bring them on slowly, one at a time, as we discover who they are. You know who this person is.
Yes, I
Tell me
do.
a quick memory of Annalea Brown. Have you been to one of her shows?
I
Have you heard
not
one of her
been to
songs?
shows. I have heard her music.
Okay, what do you feel when you hear her music?
I mean, you just get that fun, island, free, just energetic.
Like wind in your hair? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, wind on my
Okay.
on my back hair.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Here's one of the Canna Fan Fest artists, Annalea Brown.
All right.
Then I lie awake and watch you sleep, and I don't think you know that I whisper I believe in you while you dream, and it's not that that's what you expect from me. I just wanna do to you what you do for me, 'cause everybody think they know, but don't nobody really know. Moving forward, ain't nobody but me and you. I'm in your corner, baby, always fighting for you. So if you ever forget, I love you. If you ever forget, I love you. And if you ever forget my love for you, oh baby, we both lose. We both lose. Oh, I hope you know I don't mind you believe you're always right, and I hope you know when you go out I don't mind, and I really don't think that you understand how you take my breath away when you take my hand, 'cause everybody think they know, but don't nobody really know. Pressing forward, ain't nobody but me and you. I'm in your corner, baby, always fighting for you. So if you ever forget, I love you. If you ever forget, I love you. And if you ever forget,
And that's why they went 24 hours. Talifa, hey, welcome back in. We're just doing a special session, just chatting it up. You know what? If I were to call these, it's not a podcast, but maybe buds of a feather. Buds, get it? Birds of a feather, but buds. Okay, little
Buds
much.
of a feather.
Yeah, who was using their medicine before they came on? Anyway, welcome back in. We are talking about getmedcard.co, where you can go get your medical card. Very easy, very fast. They have an office on 3900 South and 300 East, 833-420-4207. Also, if you're renewing your medical card or you already have a medical card, if you go onto the website, you'll have a discount to September 27, Canna Fan Fest. If you're getting a card for the very first time, you have to be 21 years or older with a valid ID. You will be getting a pair of tickets if you sign up as a new card hold member. Again, you have to be qualified, go through the whole legal thing so you can be legal. If you go through getmedcard.co, it's $70, and then they give you $70 to then go purchase medicine in the pharmacy. So really good deal.
I mean, that's a great deal.
Yeah. Did you give away your tickets this morning?
I did give away my tickets.
Who got your tickets?
I gave it to, oh my gosh.
Wow, you give it to Lynn Katoa, huh? Is there, you know,
I forgot.
That's the wonderful thing about Polynesian names is that guaranteed there's probably another Lynn Katoa out there. You know, like there's another Leroy Tell.
No, I gave it away.
Yeah.
I gave them
Yeah.
away. I'll get them
Another
to her.
Cindy Satini, sure, yeah. I'm gonna give it to Leroy Tell, yeah.
But they're going to be excited because it's going to be a great concert.
It's gonna be a great concert. You know, Annalea Brown, we
Yes.
just heard her. There's other local artists, and again, if you are interested, if you're a local artist and you want to be part of Canna Fan Fest, because it starts at 10 a.m. and it'll go till 10 at night. Jason said, look, we don't want to stop. We don't want any music like changeover as soon as this band is done. This
So
band
they
is
want
ready
go,
to
go,
boom,
go,
boom,
go.
boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
They want when you're about to get up to leave, you're like, oh, another show. Oh, okay. Okay, nice. Oh, dang, here comes another one. Yeah, we don't want you to leave.
Hey.
Then you'll be hungry. Oh, it's lunchtime. Let's go get something to eat.
And we know you're going to be hungry, okay?
Yeah.
So it's going to be all the good foods that'll
Yes.
be there.
So if you want to be a vendor, if you want to, sell your merchandise, any of that stuff, you want to be a food vendor, now's a great time to have it because tickets are live. So that means it's probably going to sell out. I would say people who are curious, if you're kind of curious, buy a ticket. You don't have to have a medical card, but if you do, you get it for free. If you don't have one now, if you have one and renew it, you get it for a discount. So
See, it's a win-win for everybody.
kind of curious. I don't know who came up with that. That just sounds.
Oh, wow. Did you just come up with that?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't
like,
know. I've heard of bi-curious, but I've never heard of
Oh,
kinda
okay,
curious.
okay. I
but
know that part.
I am not curious at all. Anyway.
Kinda curious. I'm
Kinda
gonna
curious.
say that. I'm gonna use that when I talk to people to
Are you
bring
kinda,
them in. Are you kinda
Look at us trying to
curious?
sound a bit. Are you kind of curious? Or kind of curious? See, that's what it
Kinda
sounds.
and kinda.
That kind of sounds like. I like.
I like it.
Yeah.
That'll be our new way to bring people in.
Okay, so let me ask you this. My mom has a tough time with the medical card. She understands it now. She gets it. I think she gives me a tiny bit of leeway, but how would you talk to your mom? How would you bring it up if you knew something could help your mom, but she's also staunch against.
Right.
Medical.
And that's so funny because I've been thinking about it because, as you know, I take care of my mother who's 89 with dementia on hospice.
Mm-hmm.
So she struggles a lot in pain. And I know that my strains that I use, they work for me. And I but my mom knows that I
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah.
She's one of those, but as long as you're safe, so she knows where she's okay with it. But there's moments that I wish I can give her like an edible to just kind of calm her agitation down. But obviously we know that it doesn't work well for everybody and it might work on her differently. So she's been actually great about it. My siblings were all raised in Holland.
Yeah.
So they had that European
Oh my
lifestyle.
gosh.
So it was more like, oh yeah. So
The drinking age was at 16,
Yes.
and wow, lots of freedom. Yeah, Cindy, I just watched a documentary, and they were just coming on talking about, yeah, 16, the legal age. I'm like, the legal age
Yeah.
of drinking.
I think that's why when all Americans go there, they seem like, oh my gosh, look at these crazy Americans.
Shout out to them because if you look at their numbers, their age of underage drinking and like alcohol abuse is way lower than us here in the United States, and we wait till 21. So I don't know if there's one of those. If it fosters rebellion in us, especially Americans, because we have
Unless they're
First
10 years
Amendment.
old rebellious in Europe.
Oh, wow.
We haven't seen those statistics. Just kidding.
10 years old, why you gotta bring me back up, bro?
Oh.
My mom's not watching right now. But here's the thing: with technology, with the advancement of everything going on, you could really do your research.
Yes, you can.
Just that's how you want to do your research. So, but.
And it's easy. You know what I mean? Everyone's been, if you know that you're interested in doing it, just look into it. You know what I mean? You're going to learn a lot more than you think.
Yeah, well, and just knowing, right? Just having the knowledge that so that if you hear any misinformation, whether you're a fan for it or not, I think we're all stewards of the truth, right? So this again, maybe I have this ultralistic view of the world, right? And the view is that everybody is good, right? So even if a person who's not part of the cannabis world or doesn't hate part of the medical card, I would hope that if they heard something false, that now instead of demonizing it, they could say, no, actually that's not true.
They can understand.
I heard that they do this and they're doing research. Because we who have the card, we have to normalize it because just like the Tylenol, right? It's become normal. It's become easy. Headache. You have a headache, Mom? Yeah, give me some pills.
Yes.
That's the first thing, right? Before, back in the day, it was go grab some tea leaves, bring a basin of water, and come massage my head. That was our Tylenol back in the day. As soon as you came to America, no more tea leaves.
No.
Tylenol, aspirin, Advil. What are some other companies that could sponsor us?
Aleve.
Aleve, yes. And Aleve is also a short fix for gout. I found that out from my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know. Or, how sprained ankles are really good if you fota it right after?
Yeah.
That's not true. Yeah,
You sound like you might need to go to
Samoa's are
Javi's
crazy.
arthritis little event today.
No, that's arthritis. That's goo-goo. Man, we better see a lot of Samoans out there, man. Shoot. When my dad had gout, he said even the bed sheet, not a blanket, even the bed sheet felt like pins and needles. Ugh.
I had it once when I was 19 in my left big toe, And I woke up to the sheet barely touching it, and I thought I was gonna die. And I had to go play. I had a game that day.
And you can't find it. And my dad said there's no other pain that is like the pain of a gout attack.
It's the worst.
And I'm like, Dad, you have a wife that gave kids.
Yeah.
Shh, be quiet.
So I stopped eating lupulu after that because I was afraid that the corned beef was
stopped?
gonna. I did. Well, I take bites here and there.
Yeah.
But I don't eat it straight out of the can on my French bread anymore.
Oh, like you used to, yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, only because we have partners, we have husbands, we have wives in our lives now, and I wanted to ask about that. Because just because you have a medical card doesn't always mean your partner is going to have a medical card, right?
Right.
How has that worked with your relationship, if I could ask? And you don't have to tell me details. Has it caused any rift? Has it caused any strife in a personal setting?
It hasn't actually. He's been very, very supportive. He just wanted my husband's just amazing. So anything that helps me feel better about myself or like helps me with my injuries and stuff, he is there 100%.
Yeah.
So he's been very, very, very supportive, and
you gotta have your best friend, your partner has got to have your back no matter what, and vice versa, right? We're not talking about that, but I would think in this scenario, because it's been shame, the guilt that we feel, from our own family, about getting relief for something, right?
But they don't want to do the research and learn about it.
Yes.
See, my husband wants to know about stuff, so he's always reading about things, so he has a better understanding. It's not like I'm doing it and I'm shooting up or something, because it's just something that I had to like really look into as well. Yeah. I'm not going to do something that's going to hurt me.
I want to say that, I believe wholeheartedly that Sin would support me even if she wasn't, if she didn't have a card herself, right? She supports me through everything. I have it easy. I have it made. I got someone who's pouring into me so that I can pour out, right? And I think having that relationship, even if your partner is not on board, it's the support and the understanding, right?
Or try to understand.
Because
if you're doing the opposite, you're only adding to the mental health issue.
And how do you feel safe at home if that's going on? Right? Jeez. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And, I can tell that well, I don't want to speak for you, but what does the card program, what does Access mean to you?
I'm just very, very grateful for it. I don't think that I wouldn't say I wouldn't be here right now, but like I would be in a worse mental state than I am right now. Because we have a lot that's going on right now. I mean, my plate is full. Like I said earlier on our show, I was diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety.
Sorry to hear that.
But it's just, what do you do to try to help take care of yourself? So that's been one thing that's helped me not only physically with my sports injuries, but it's helped with my anxiety and like my headaches, and just kind of just brings me back, balances me out. And if one thing doesn't work, or I feel like I'm trying one strain and I'm on that strain way too long, I'd go talk to the doctor. Hey, what's one step up? Because I feel like I'm just stagnant.
And so see, your perfect example for me as I think about that. Could you get access to that plant without the legal means? Yes, all of us. It's been around. It's been around for that. But what we're trying to do is we want to go through responsible parties who will test it so that it's safe for us. I'm not a scientist. I don't want to have to test it.
But that's the key word, safe.
That's the whole reason why I really go through the program, so that I know it's safe. When I go get something from the pharmacy, I know that it's safe because smart people have gone through the process. We're going to take one more break. This is our last break. We'll come back and wrap things up. We're going to play you another artist who's on the lineup for Canna Fan Fest. Now, this guy, he took the music scene, the rap music scene in Utah by storm. He is related to a famous rapper. Chance the Rapper is his cousin, and that kind of helped him propel.
Really?
But he kind of brought Mormon rap and put it back on the map. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy James the Mormon, another Canna Fan Fest artist.
That's right.
I can't believe like that boy, he commander-in-chief. Still got that grief, myself me nothing. I hear they bluffing, do this for discussion. I'm trying to lean in, I ain't talking tussing. I got temptation like I'm David Ruffin. Watch me come down, but you thinking me iron. Lone on the boat, in the flow by the island. Inside I'm dark, but my future is vibrant. You don't know what's inside me. Yeah. Pressure is poison, I'm filling it up. Problems occur while you thinking it's us. Thinking I make it, I'm right on the cusp. Don't need Heart on my sleeve, but you still finna roast him. Marshall, he told me to sing for the moment. Knew me, you think I'm atrocious, probably hopeless. How do you fake it? Full of the hatred and cut up like lady. Don't forget all of them years in the business. I'ma kill it with my mask on like Jason. Watch me come down, but you thinking me iron. Don't know the wolf in the flow by the island. Inside I'm dark, but my future is vibrant. You don't know what's inside me. Yeah. But shut this poison, I'm filling it up. Problems occur while you thinking it's us. Thinking I make it, I'm right on the cusp. Don't need you, got people I trust. No mama, not today, no. I've tried, I'll try again. No mama, not today, no. I've tried, I'll try again.
Yeah. Welcome back. Talofa, Utah. My good friend Lynn and I are hanging out. Asked Lynn to stop by and talk. We're talking about the getmedcard.co specifically, but the medical card program, the medical card program specifically in the state of Utah. Getmedcard.co is actually a medical card program that's in 27 other states. So if there are people tuning in from other states that are hearing it, it's the same company. We're not in those states physically, but we're using the same medical card state-run program.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that it was everywhere else.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was listening to you talk about being an athlete, and there are more pro athletes, even retired. Well, they have to do it retired because there's so many rules about playing and performance enhancing, right? But I met a couple of years ago, I met Rob Sims and Calvin Johnson. They both played for the Detroit Lions. Calvin Johnson, his nickname was Megatron. Megatron.
Okay.
He was, if you look him up and Google him, he's one of the most prolific wide receivers in the NFL. He's since retired, but if you look at his story, Megatron, shout out if you're watching, appreciate the follow and the like. But he shared his story during the season. I remember he got fined and he got penalized, suspended even for a couple of games because his drug test got back positive for cannabis. And at the time, you weren't allowed to use it.
It was like...
Yeah. But fast forward, and then shout out to the NFL for being progressive and being ahead of the game by slowly allowing those players who live in those states that have a medical card program to use that because it is a medicine. But Calvin Johnson, Megatron, says all the time, I was using it way before and I knew it helped me with my game. I mean, he told stories that, man, sometimes I had to have my medicine in order to play because my knee was jacked up. My ankle was jacked up, but
And it's safer than getting all those cortisone shots in your knee.
Yeah.
So this is something that's actually going to help you.
And he didn't really care about the law in the sense that taking care of his family, getting his paycheck was more important at the time than some dumb drug test in his mind.
Right.
Now, fast forward, he's retired from the NFL, and his teammate, Rob Sims, retired from the NFL, and they have a thriving pharmacy dispensary in, I want to say, out there in Detroit, out there back east. They came out here, and I got to meet them. Very, very, very telling about sports because, I did a long cut to come to this part because you're an athlete. He said, what I really loved about the medicine, and I'm paraphrasing, is that it not only helped me with my aches and pains, but, it also helped calm me.
Yes.
For whatever reason, they tell you before the game, some guys like to get hyped. Some people like to play rock music and this and that. Not me. I wanted to relax.
Yeah.
And this is the only thing that
And some
helped me
people
with
have
my
that
pain.
anxiety so bad that they don't even want to leave the house, so they need some sort of...
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing that I've learned about now having my own medical card is that when I was getting high back in the day in high school, it's not that same feeling.
Yeah.
Back then it was
You weren't using it for medicine.
No, we weren't using it for medicine, so it was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But now that I'm doing it because my body needs it.
Yeah.
My mental state needs it.
And also remember as a kid, and I just realized this, you didn't have any dosage, you didn't have, so you were probably overdoing it. Now, if you're going through the card, they tell you exactly what dosage is for what ails you. We're not kids anymore. We're not. We all have been through those puberty and those adolescent years where we rebel. So,
But even now, like just like the pens that they do have at the dispensaries, they stop after 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, so they're doing things to so you're not overdoing it.
Yeah.
You know, so you still have to do everything in moderation. The medical companies or the dispensaries or they can't control the person.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna overdo it, that's just who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You just always overdo things. But if you do it in moderation and you're responsible, like you should with life and about everything and any medication that you take, then this just works out fine. It doesn't work for everybody, like you're saying, for other people, but it works.
I thought you said you weren't a church member. You sound like you had a fireside.
Amen.
Okay. You discovered her first on our show on Everyday People. She is a local artist. Shout out to the Schwenke and the Tapasua family.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we reintroduce you to again. She has now been added onto the lineup for Canafan Fest. Here she is, Yada the Great.
We love Yada.
Take me out to all your adventures. I don't wanna be stuck in my room. Post it up on Insta and Twitter. Stuck with us, don't want to assume that you're trifling. That you talk to other women, baby, let's pretend that you hold me like sativa, go make love again. Still remember all the details in remembrance. Gripping all over my mind from there. You got me going crazy. This love thing ain't what it's supposed to be. True colors showing red. And when I leave, I know that you'll be missing me. All your adventures, I don't wanna be stuck in my room. I post it up on Insta and Twitter. Stuck with us, don't want to assume that you're trifling. That you talk to other women, baby, let's
I still think that. Talafan, welcome back.
What's up?
I still think that before you go on to do something, if you don't have anxiety, you've probably lost the magic. That's my thought. So I still feel.
Oh, then I
anxiety.
have all the magic.
Yeah.
'Cause my anxiety's
Sorry,
24 magic.
We're talking about emceeing and hosting in front of big crowds.
Yes.
I'm hosting the Canafan Fest September 27th. Very, very honored and happy to do so. I'm slowly becoming the voice and the face of the medical card program here in Utah, and I'm okay to put that weight on my shoulders because I tell that story only to educate people. I'm not saying that you should mimic and follow everything I'm doing. I'm just saying, look, I'm just a regular dude.
Okay.
I was feeling something, I was hurting, and I needed something else, and all the stuff y'all gave me wasn't working. So this stuff, I had to try it. And now you're making it legal, making it safe for me to sleep, but there is that now there's this new anxiety, that even if a smell could linger on you, right?
Yeah.
And an officer could pull you over, and even though you're not inebriated or affected with the euphoria, because of the political climate that we currently live in, it could be.
And if that's not
potentially
stressful enough to try to
right. Thank you. So I'm very grateful for the program. I'm glad there's an outlet for people like me, for veterans.
Yes.
Again, you don't know what you don't know. That's what this is all about. Please go and learn and educate yourself.
And how long have you been a member?
I want to say I've been a member for my whole life.
I mean.
I've been a legal member
Right.
for, I want to say 3 years.
I'm not talking about your church membership.
Wow.
I'm talking.
I was baptized 2 years ago. Anyway, I want to say about maybe 3 or 4 years ago is
nice.
when I got started.
See, I just got mine a year ago.
Yeah. Well, okay, since we're talking about it, because you're a year ago, here's the thing. There's a way that you enjoy the medicine. Again, most medicines, they give it to you. There's only one application. You take it, you have to drink it, right? Or you take it in pill form. Well, the magical thing about this medicine is it does come in pill form. It does come in flavored shots. You can use a flame. You can use vaporizers. You can lotion. You can use a patch. So the stigmas
Like
of
even those balms. All that
Yes.
crazy stuff that you would not have known.
And if you're worried about the smell, because
Yeah.
the smell can give it away, you don't have to worry about that anymore. So you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So why not educate yourself? Again, if you go through the whole process and at the end you decide, nah, this ain't for me. They're not gonna pressure you. They'll say, okay, now you know. we hope you make a responsible decision for the future. In closing, anything you want to say? Is there any life revealing moments you want to just throw some shade on anybody?
No shade, because I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet in your whole life. No, I just want to say, well, thanks for having me on the show, and I'm very, very grateful for programs like this, like the getmed.co, this festival that's going to be happening to bring light and shine light on the, and like educating people on stuff this way. Because I think a lot of people, like we were talking about earlier, shame. So they're like, you think, oh, you smoke marijuana? They're thinking, oh, rolled a bag and ate. Like we were like, no, there's so many things that just educate yourself, have an open mind. There's different types, because I can't smoke it, the like flower. I do, but I rather just have it edible.
Yes.
You know, because each prescription does different things to your body. You know, but as long as you have an open mind, you do some research, go to the dispensaries, talk to a doctor there. They're more than happy, and that's why they're there to help you with that. And I think a lot of you will like sleep better at night.
You know, and part of the reason why, thank you so much for accepting the invitation, but part of the reason why I wanted to talk to you as well is because there are friends, there are family members who know you and who trust you. And so what I'm hoping happens is that in their mind they say, if it worked for Lynn, or it worked for Leroy, man, you know, I'm gonna just at least give it a try. That's all. We want to make sure you're armed with the correct information.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's all the time. Thank you so much for allowing us to invade your homes and give you some information. The festival is going down September 27th, 2025. It is the first of its kind. If you'd like a ticket, go to cannafanfest.com. You have to be 21 years or older. If you are thinking about getting a medical card, if you get one today, you'll also get a free pair of tickets. If you're renewing your card, you renew it today, you'll get a discounted ticket. It's not the reason why you should go get a card or renew your card, but it's just a simple way of saying, hey, thank you. Let's celebrate on the 25th, raise awareness, and get educated. All right, Lynn, thank you so much.
Thank you. And what about current card holders?
They get a discount too.
They get a discount too. Okay.
Current and renew are the same. They get the discount.
I want to make sure I got my info right before I spread the word. It's going to be great.
Again, we don't advocate underage use, but we do promote anything legal, anything safe, and to medicate responsibly. All right. Have a good day. Saturday is a special day. I'm just kidding. We're going to end with one more artist. You heard him coming in, but we're going to take you out the same way we came in with Richie V. Malo Chimmy. Hey, bye.
See you guys.
I've been wasting no time now. Tell her choose a fit. I've been waiting to untie. I can see it in your mind that you're waiting to unwind. I love everything you wanna do, just put your mind to. Street book, girl, I rasta man can only tend to. Call me flex on, cause I'm a bedrock master. Bring the like in my guarantee you touch her lips. All up in a dance, I watch you tell her shit I need you. I can see your eyes in the signs of the tip on the rise. We have a play it cool, just let it ride. Cause if we touch right here, I swear we'll do it right. The friend right there keeps saying so we know. I can see your eyes in the signs of the tip on the rise. We have a play it cool, just let it ride. Cause if we touch right here, I swear we'll do it right. The friend right there keeps saying so we know. So we know. One night talk, one shit, I make a checkmate. Change your flight clock to the very next day. Call your work on, so be stuck a few days. 'Cause when you're done, you are here, but you wanna stay here. Come baby, come right here. It's a pillow talk when I get you right there. We can make a rain, make a rock, burn your flame. Breaking every neck, 'cause you're walking the same. I can see your eyes in the sides of the rise. We have a play it cool, just let it ride. 'Cause if we touch right here, I swear we'll do it right.
Bye.